I think both of our issues are really the same. We're having a problem with how committees are formed, when residents are on committees and when residents are not on committees. This board has not addressed that issue. And you now have before you 2 complaints by 2 people with documentation surrounding this whole issue about board appointees.
Okay.
I've asked you how many times to sit there and give an accurate depiction of committee membership. You have not. You have failed to do it.
You can't say that I failed to do that.
You,
Ms. Boyd, we sent you the information that you
sent
requested.
it only for
what you requested.
I said for all board. I said for all committee members. All committee members meaning non-board members and board members, and I specifically put it in writing. Okay.
And I actually, I'll let you finish and I'll explain to the
we
board.
can never, as a community, even determine whether there is quorum or not, unless we know all of the members who are on every committee. You have not given that. We don't know how many people. For all we know, Tim Thomas can now show up with 5 more members on the committee, say that they're members on the committee, and then pass a vote.
All right, so let me just.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
You got that? Oh yeah, you got that one.
I got it.
I got one for you here. And that one can go right to Jackie.
Do you have one?
Oh, you don't? Okay. I'll give you. I got more than enough copies.
How are we supposed
So,
to, as residents, know when even quorum is existing?
Can I talk? Okay. So you requested that in the floor request, and Terry and I was working on it. We sent you the information of appointed board members and non-board members, and we have.
You have not.
Okay.
You better look through your
we'll look at it again,
documents.
but we sent
Look
that was
through
the
your
request.
documents. The
To
only
answer
thing
your other question,
you
to
didn't
answer your
send
other
it to
question,
me.
and to the executive
Okay.
committee, to the executive committee, I want to share this with you quick fast. Those who are requesting, those who are non-board members, requesting to join committees, we receive all the applications. And it's at the discretion of the chair of the board or the committee chair to appoint those, which we have to do, appoint non-board members to committees. We can't appoint everybody. We could have 100 applications to join one committee. We can't do that. Okay, but we are in consideration and encouraging those to join. Anyone who in the community have asked me to join a committee, I said go to it. I'm talking, but but Ms. Boyd, you have 4 requests. You have lawsuits against us.
That's right.
I mean,
that's
you
right.
got to figure the facts. Come on.
Oh no, that's not how the law
But
works.
we appointed you to subcommittee. It's not how the law works.
No,
but you know
that
what?
is,
We appointed you to a subcommittee.
What you do is you
welcome
pick
to
and
go
choose.
to. No, we don't
You pick and choose who you want to be on committees to control it.
That's what you're saying. We don't do
Because
that.
people put their applications and you deny them.
No.
And I'm not
You
the
show
only
me
one.
out of all the 54 community boards in Brooklyn, if they accepted every application. You come back and show me that.
I'm
But
not
they
talking
don't.
about every board.
But Ms. Boyd, you're singling us out.
CB.
We're not. No, let me finish, please. We don't not have anyone fill out an application and not be a part of the community board. If we have 100 applications, we cannot accept 100 non-board members too. It's just not. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If we did not appoint any non-board members to the committee, then we would have an argument.
You have 30 people who wanted to join community board committees, and you have not only not recognized those applications and
What do you
sent
mean
them.
not recognized?
You didn't send them. Oh, I appreciate the fact that you sat. You didn't.
That's what you want to.
I'm just saying. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. You have not recognized that they even submitted an application, and you have not processed their applications. So you have just left them hanging out there. This is a committee. These are community boards. It's supposed to be comprised of both community boards, members, and committees.
Which it is.
What you do and what you have been doing is you have been selecting the voices on these committees. People that you want to hear, people that you think, and then you only select a small
Let me just say
few.
this. Let me say this.
So that
The
you can
application-
continue
let me-
to have
You can't
power
say
in the
you know how I
communities.
select?
I don't know how to.
You know what?
because
Let me
I
share
don't
this.
even
There's
have
no
a
bio on the person's application. I don't know who these
So
people are.
why is it that the same people are constantly being
What
picked?
same people are you talking about?
For example, Jay saw it.
Okay.
Always on. What about
That's
that?
the ULIP chair who's pointing. It's in our bylaws. The ULIP chair. You're focusing
So
on
we
one
don't
committee.
know. No, I'm focusing
You're
on all the
focusing on one
committees.
committee.
Well, how would we know? We don't have anything for the other committees.
Ms. Boyd, we sent you all the information. Me and Terry actually sent you that floor request.
Okay.
All right. So to the
Okay,
executive
you
committee,
did not.
we're gonna finish up, Ms. Fleming.
Lost track of where I was at now. What I wanted to be clear was
was, what was Simone's impression of, I have a problem because of my submission today of, a meeting of the Transportation Committee tomorrow.
Understandably so.
And then to have, regardless of whatever they do, to move on this issue, because it's my belief that it should not be on the agenda whenever it's an invalid situation, and that document says, the agenda for tomorrow says re-vote,
Right.
which is inherently
Incorrect, yeah. Because
bullshit.
nothing.
Because
Okay, so
it's
wait,
not-
I
it's
have a
not a
question.
revote, correct,
I have a
It
question.
says revote, so how do we revote what was
We're never
there?
voted on. Gotcha.
Are you able to, as the chairman of the board overall, are you able to tell him to table that particular topic?
Mhm.
Because we do have to go, we have now additional information. We have to,
Yeah.
we have to
You can do that.
we have to come back to it, or not come back, we have additional information on that topic that now needs to be addressed in the general meeting, and until it's handled in the general meeting, it cannot move forward in committee.
I will reach out to Tim Thomas
Yeah.
and say
Yeah.
we're gonna remove that from the agenda until we take care of this situation.
I think
Can I
that,
get-
I think
But
that
you-
generally.
wait a minute,
happens.
are you going to
I'm gonna
tell
have
One
him
to
person,
to
one
do that,
wait.
person,
or
one
I
person,
wa-
one person,
I-
please.
I was-
One person, guys, please.
No,
Ms.
I
Baker?
said that generally that's what happens when these kind of allegation arises about a chair
Okay.
of a specific committee. Then the chair of the overall organization has to go to him and says, listen, this is an issue. It is, and it's a very
That's right.
serious issue. So what we're going to do, we're going to table this until we resolve this whole thing around this, all these allegations
Right.
that are being made. And then if you don't understand that, then
We
you
have to remove.
can automatically remove it.
So,
All right, so I'm
wait,
gonna-
can I ask you
That
then?
was- that was
So then
mine.
maybe there shouldn't even be a meeting.
Well, no, the meeting still have to go
No,
on.
they can.
They can still
This
have the
other-
meeting,
this
but we
other
can table
issues.
that particular
There's
issue.
other things
Table?
going on.
Okay.
That's one issue, yeah.
All right, so do I get a
Table
motion
that issue,
to
yes.
send an email to reach out to Tim Thomas to table the Empire Blvd until we get further clarity on this?
Clarification and his presenting himself to the allegations
Allegations
of
on
this or at the board meeting.
Can I get a motion?
I'd
So-
like to make a motion.
Simone, make that motion, you can record that, and Evelyn Williams seconded. I'll reach out to Tim Thomas.
I just wanna
Do
confirm.
you, wait a minute, can I ask another question?
Sure.
Do you know what else he's discussing at his meeting?
But we don't, so,
Is there a
I haven't
agenda?
attended all his
Okay.
agenda meetings, his committee meetings.
Do you
but
know,
what
since
me
you're a
and-
member of the committee?
I looked at it, but once I saw that, I saw red, so
But what
I
we
don't
have to do
I
is
don't
get Terry to send
There
us
were
all
other
information.
issues
Yeah,
on
okay.
it,
If we
but
could
I
get
don't
that
remember
tomorrow.
it as
Yeah.
being, well,
What
I guess
was
we
on
can
the
look it up,
agenda?
we all got cell phones. We
The
can
agenda's
look
on it,
it
because the agenda
I
went out
didn't
to
get it.
the
It
to
should
the
be on the
transportation.
I'm not on the
Right.
The
transportation.
agenda went
No,
out to
but
the
the
transportation.
agenda is on, the agenda is on CB9.
The
Yes,
website.
it's on the
Website.
Website.
It's on the
So we
website.
should be able, to find
I'm gonna
that.
ask Terry to send that to the
Everybody-
executive
Everybody's
committee, 'cause
got
we have
cell
the agenda.
phones.
Smartphone, yeah.
Does anybody have anything else?
I don't know what else is on there.
What-
I don't remember. Once I saw that, I didn't
Ms.
see
Fenton,
anything.
one second. Ms.
What
Bennett?
was
Ms. Bennett?
the, so who, I guess maybe they were at the meeting, but the blog that, my concern is that him being a blogger, having relationships with other blogs, did he give that blog information that was false and that they then
I
presented?
don't
Where,
know.
were they at
No,
the
the blog, they
meeting?
didn't present, the blog people didn't present, nobody.
No, there was a
They
blog
presented
post.
it, the blog, what you
Yeah.
said, and I understand
When I
her
say
question.
presented, I mean they forward facing to the public.
Oh,
This
to the
is
pe-
what's happening.
I don't know, I don't know.
Well, you see, here's the problem. This was September 18th, I believe,
It is.
which is a couple days after. It was before the minutes for the meeting came out that they were saying it was for nothing.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's a problem.
That's huge,
That's
that's
a
huge.
problem.
Which
Huge.
indicates that he's the one who said it, because
Right.
nobody
So
else would have
if
said that.
if nobody in the meeting
got
voted
it.
on it,
That's a problem. I'm
who
looking
told
for it.
them
Hold on one second.
that
I'm
it's
trying to
for
find-
nothing? It might
you
be
got?
second.
Yeah.
I got his
It's on the-
agenda.
it's
It
Who
right
says,
told
here.
them that?
One second, let's
I
get,
have the meeting, I'm getting.
I have
Thumbs
it.
up
This boy has
for
it up here
nothing
too?
vote.
it says,
Okay.
one
it
person.
says, create a letter to the New York City Department of Transportation on Clove Road,
Clove Road.
prioritize and assess budget requests,
Mhm.
Empire Reconstruction, discuss and revote,
Okay, I saw that.
Kingston Avenue Sabbath
Mhm.
observance, open forum adjournment.
So that part of the revote for Empire Boulevard, I'm gonna call Tim Thompson, I'm gonna send an email to him, copy the executive committee, and we're gonna push that to table that part. The other stuff's gonna go forward of the transportation committee.
Well, the other
All right.
part I have no problem with.
Yep,
I think it's a big issue,
It's a
and I
huge
just
issue.
want to highlight. No, the whole thing is a huge
it's
issue.
huge, yeah.
But noting the date of the September 18th blog post,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that the minutes were not available, the
Mhm.
fact that there's a bullet in here about a 4-0 vote.
Correct.
False information was disseminated to
The
Community.
at large, yeah.
because
And
of
his blog,
his statement.
yeah, his blog is. So I'm gonna send that information out to Tim Thompson, like I said, copy the board, executive committee on it. I'm gonna ask Terry to send us information of any minutes outside of the October,
I think
transportation.
I tried to give you all the documents to indicate what I was talking about. I didn't want to give you extraneous information.
No, this is
and I
all
didn't wanna
very
give
helpful.
you
Thank you
more-
very
I didn't want
much
to give
for
you
this.
more than it can, when you can swallow in a short bite, because it's, there is more if you just need it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can generate some more stuff.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Alright, so, to the executive committee,
Transportation
Tra-
committee meeting is tomorrow, I'm sorry.
Tomorrow night,
Yeah,
yes.
tomorrow
It's
evening.
okay.
Okay.
Um, that's gonna conclude the new business, and I appreciate Ms. Boyd and Ms. Fleming coming to share before the executive committee. But to bring, Ms. Bennett up to speed, what was discussed in the beginning of our meeting, was that we wasn't gonna have any presentation at the next week's meeting, because last week's meeting we lost a quorum, and I wanna
Okay.
focus on getting the votes.
Okay.
However, I was remiss for forgetting that Ms. Boyd, in December, a representative from the Empire Study Group will present results of their preliminary study to address key community concerns regarding the plans for Empire Boulevard between Flatbush Avenue and Rogers Avenue. This was a letter that I received from State Senator Jesse Hamilton, giving the opportunity for someone to present before the full board.
Okay.
The board has agreed, executive committee has agreed to have
Professor
Professor Andani, who's gonna
Okay.
present next week for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So that's gonna be the only presentation next week.
Okay.
And,
At the
and,
general board.
and it does not require a vote, it's just
It doesn't
a
require a vote,
presentation.
just a present
Okay,
information,
just
exactly. So
information.
after that's
Okay.
finished, quick Q&As, and we're gonna move on.
And how many things I was not
So
at
that's
the
what I'm
December
gonna put
meeting?
up. So what we're gonna vote on is the rules of conduct for community board meeting policies. The smoke-free, they're looking for, community board to vote on their resolution. Carmen
Yeah.
read it in
Yes,
December.
yes, yes.
Maple Street Gardens looking for a letter of support for Community Board 9, and the Bridge Street project, which we have to collect the vote on.
Okay.
And that's the 4 items that we're gonna do in executive session. Also, we're gonna give out Tim Thomas that time
So that
to
will
speak.
be 5.
Tim Thomas, it's part of the committee minutes. Well, that's part of his committee, committee,
Okay.
Summary?
yeah, well, it's the committees, yeah. So when it comes to committee
It's committee reports.
committee reports, that's what it is.
Mhm.
So when it comes to committee reports and it comes to transportation, Tim Thomas is gonna come up with it. It's not a bullet item. It's
No,
the-
no, no. What I'm saying to you, when are you going to allow him to rebut this?
Once we get into executive session, so I'm gonna advise this, once we get into executive session,
Business session.
excuse me, forgive me, once we get into business session, that's where we're going to talk about this, issue right here.
Okay.
So I suggest to Ms. Fleming, you may wanna call the office and get on our public comment period session, so you can get your moment to speak.
Haven't commented enough?
Oh, you
For
have
the
a
time.
You talk to the
You
executive,
have to do it before the full board.
if you wanna share that.
Yeah, you do it again.
Yeah,
do
You
it
gotta share it to
again.
the
Okay.
board. Because what's gonna happen is that we heard
this
you,
within
the
3
rest of the
minutes?
full board didn't hear you.
Right.
And
I
they're
don't
gonna
know,
be
I
like,
didn't
what's
tell
going
you.
on?
Summarize it and put it before in 3
I'm not
minutes.
shortening it, okay?
Well,
I think
I'm
you can
not
do it
doing
in
it.
3
You
minutes.
could do it in 3 minutes, you
I
could do that in 3
You can do
minutes,
this in
just,
3 minutes.
if-
Time it, but.
just be focused on it and just give it all out in 3 minutes. Alright, so I suggest you
Hold my
call
breath.
Terry and get your name on the list,
For next
Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
So if I get, that's all we're gonna be voting on, and that's it for,
Okay.
it's gonna be, should be a short meeting, because
Okay.
we're gonna focus on just getting these votes taken care of.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting at 8:27?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you,
Second.
Beautiful. Everyone have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Here's your portion card.
Yeah, take your time to read it.
Yeah, Alicia.
The date,
Yeah, this is serious.